one parallel I thought was interesting was that, in 2021, the two biggest shocks of the year were you and CM Punk turning up in AEW. And then 7 years before, the night that the crowd hijacked the Royal Rumble on your behalf was his last night in the company. I mean, did you ever think that 7 years later you guys would be working together in a different company? And how is the experience different?
So, it's just interesting in the sense of, in 2014, you weren't envisioning a different company then. You know what I mean? That like you didn't know that there would be this company because a lot of things had to happen for AEW to even start, right? It was really interesting. My contract with WWE was up in 2018, and I was considering going to Ring of Honor. And I was talking to like the Young Bucks, and I was talking to Cody just to kind of see all their contracts were up with Ring of Honor. And I was like, what are you guys going to do? Because even like my lawyer, who doesn't know anything about pro wrestling, he said, hey, I don't think you'd want to sign with Ring of Honor if these Young Bucks aren't going, because they've got this YouTube show. I don't know if you've heard of it, called Being the Elite. And it's essentially the driver for the popularity of Ring of Honor at the time, right? And so if those guys go away, we don't know if Ring of Honor will still be nearly as popular. And then with Cody's contract coming up, if they leave and Cody leaves, what will Ring of Honor's popularity be like? So that was a part of the discussion. So like when you're looking at 2014, you're not envisioning like, okay, the Young Bucks are going to start a YouTube channel that's going to become super hot and a catalyst for change in wrestling. And then you also don't envision, okay, even if there is somebody with money that comes in and backs them creating a new company or whatever it is it going to be somebody who's really willing to be fully invested in it the way Tony Khan is, right? Yeah. And so you couldn't have ever imagined it. But I think, given that, I think it's really cool for me. Punk and I have a long history. I think the first time I met him was, I forget, he would know better, 2003 or 2002. He would know better because it was an independent tournament where he fractured his skull. So he fractured his skull in the tournament and like had to go to the emergency room and all that kind of stuff. And so I have a hard time remembering if that's 2002 or 2003, but I'm sure he would know for sure. But we have a long history, and I just think it's cool. It's cool whenever it happens. Like, it's cool for me that Mox is where he's at. Like, to me, there was that excellent interview segment this week with CM Punk and John Moxley, and he talked about being the heart and soul of kind of AEW, and I see him as that as well. Him, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks is kind of like, and Chris Jericho, you know what I mean? But I see those kind of people as the guys, right? And it's cool that when I first wrestled him, it was in front of like 75 people on a Wednesday show in the middle of nowhere. Mox actually knows exactly where it was, but I don't even remember. So it was like, all of that kind of stuff is just neat.
Okay. Oh, Rock's calling me live from the Staples Center. Okay. This is weird. And I started texting him like immediately after that, and he got right back to me. He was like, "Oh, brother," I was like, "I tried to answer. I was outside. I was in an elevator. It just didn't work out."